Hey guys, I'm Glitter Valkyrie, and today we are going to summon on the Willful Rabbits banner. I was actually thinking that I was not going to pull on this when I first saw the banner, but my Sacred Stones bias took over and I really want Myrrh, so we are going to do this. So we can talk about all these characters as we go along, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the plan today is going to be to snipe colorless because really the Myrrh and Na duo is the only character that I want on this banner. And it always makes me nervous to pull on these when there's really only one character that I want because on other banners, if I want others just like a little bit less, I'll still be happy if I get them. But really, just Myrrh is what I want the most, and I'm really hoping that I get them because I feel like they're going to be so useful in all of those Resident Hero battles. And we get a Tanya. So let's go ahead and back out. And I feel like I should clarify that it's not that I dislike Inigo and Severa. Those are actually characters that I like very much. It's just that I would have much preferred if they were added in like a new hero banner just as their regular selves, because I feel like I don't really need these bunny alts and I like them very much as characters. So I would have much preferred them to be in the regular pool. But if we don't have any colorless in a circle, I think that green is probably going to be my next best choice. Because I do really like Inigo, and I also think that his A skill could maybe be useful for my Raisin. I do have the tier 3 dual skill on my Raisin, and for a while it worked very well, but as we all know, those dual skills did not age all that well. And I guess the next one would be a little bit of an upgrade for him. So I guess I could do that, and if we don't have any colorless or green, I'd probably go red next for Severa. So let's back out. And you know, I hate to be negative on these videos. I really always try to find the positive in something, but I do want to talk about these dual skills, and I'm really sorry to say I do not like them at all. I feel like the old ones aged very poorly, and I also feel like it kind of devalues some of those characters that are still in the 5-star pool. Like if you pull Hellbindi now, I personally love Hellbindi, but if you don't like him, his fodder is not very good. And with all of those A skills kind of being power crept, it's really a little bit disappointing to pull them. So I really don't like the addition, and I really dislike that there are going to be those cavalry skills in the pool. Because back in the day when I was in a lower tier in Arena, I saw a lot of cavalry units, and it was very not fun. And with the addition of Resplendent Reinhardt, I am not excited to see that. And I feel like this kind of sets a precedent where if we're seeing red, we're gonna see blue eventually. So, very sorry to be negative, but that's kind of how I feel about that. And I guess that kind of covers the 3 characters on the banner, and we just have Minerva left. And I'm very sorry to all the Minerva fans, but I do not want to pull her. I really don't need her in my barracks, but congratulations if you like her, because she does look cute with her bunny alt. And aside from the characters on the banner, the character that I was actually super excited about was our Tempest Trial unit. Salo was actually on my bingo board, and while I always kind of imagined him to be a sage because that's how he was in Sacred Stones, I absolutely love his design. I think they did a fantastic job, and I am like fully ready to trick him out with a bunch of new skills. So overall, there were some things I was really excited about and some things I was kind of less excited about on this banner and with the Tempest Trials. But, you know, all of these bunny banners are really hit or miss for me. Aside from the first year where I loved every single character on the banner, and honestly, I'd probably pull if they get a rerun, there have been a lot of years where I've actually skipped. So I'm hoping that we can get Myrrh and just save a little bit because we have Hero Rises coming up, and I'm sure Bunny Xander is going to come back at some point. So hopefully they come home soon. But that is a Virion. So let's go ahead and back out. And I think that we can go ahead and move on to all of your questions for the day. And as always, if I didn't get to your question, I'm sorry. And if you think of something that you want to ask me, you can leave it in the comments with #question, and I will put your question on my list. So the first question on my list today comes from George Caliber, and they ask, do you have any musical talent like singing or dancing? So I'm sorry to say I am not very talented musically. I don't really sing in front of other people. I don't really dance, but I do play piano. And really the only thing that I do with piano is video game covers. I play a lot of Zelda covers, and I can do Gerudo Valley, which is a lot of fun. And I wish that I were more musically gifted, but the piano is really the only thing that I can do. But thank you for that great question. And the next question on my list today comes from Dark Repulsor Logan, and they ask, do you like Fire Emblem Fates? I love Fire Emblem Fates. Well, I should say I love 2 of the routes in Fates. Conquest is one of my favorite games of all time. I think that it's just a really fun video game experience, and I obviously love the characters very much with Xander and Elise and Camilla and Leo. But I actually also really like Revelations, and I know it had issues and a lot of people dislike it, but I like that you can recruit from both sides, and it's mostly the best of both worlds, even if there were some issues with the story, but I did like it. And I actually have only played Birthright through 1 time. And if you've seen my videos before, you know how much I love Xander, and that's really why I dislike Birthright as much as I do. I really dislike what they did with his characterization, and I did not like the ending, and it just hurt my heart with what happened to him and another member of the royal family, not to spoil if you haven't played it. But yeah, I did not enjoy Birthright, but overall, I really do love Fates. But thank you for that great question. And the next question on my list today comes from Brett Johnson, and they ask, do you think Faye will ever add characters from different games and series like Zelda or Kid Icarus? You know, I really don't think so unless they come out with a new game where there's a crossover like Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and they need to kind of promote that. Yeah, maybe they would add accessories from another game, but I really don't see it happening. I don't know why. But I do have another question on my list that's kind of somewhat related, and this comes from the artist Sylveon, and there are actually a couple for me. And they are, would you like to see a Faye crossover with another Nintendo franchise like Dragalia did with Faye? Have you played FE Warriors? And if so, what did you think and who did you main? And if you were forced to play as the male avatar, who would you S-support and which routes would you choose in Fates and Three Houses? Okay, so for the first part of your question, I actually would not like to see crossovers in Fae. I really just want my Fire Emblem to be Fire Emblem, and I would love for them to have accessories like a Triforce that I could put on Sarah. That would be really cool. But I just want my Fire Emblem to be purely Fire Emblem, and that's just kind of how I feel about it. And then for the next part of your question about Warriors, I did play it. I thought it was a good game. I didn't like it as much as Hyrule Warriors, but I did like it. And I mained Corrin and Xander and Elise. And also Lucina. I did play her too. And for the last part of your question about who I would play as a male avatar in those games and the routes that I would choose. So I've never actually played the male avatars in those games, but for Fates, I would pick Nor, obviously. But for who I would S-support, I don't know. Maybe Azura, just so that you could get a good ending, because I know that her ending is better if you S-support her. It would be kind of weird just because of the family tree, but I guess Azura. And then for Three Houses, I would obviously choose Golden Deer because that is my house, and I would pick Marianne because she is the best, with Hilda as a close second. But thank you for all those great questions. So let's back out. And the next question on my list today comes from Fallen Bread Kid, and this is actually a rapid fire round, and I love doing these. So we'll go ahead and start, and the first one is Hoshido or Nor? I would say Nor. Cake or ice cream? Definitely cake. Silver Snow or Crimson Flower? Oh, maybe Silver Snow, just because, like, Sethith is your main lord? Oh, I don't know. But I guess I would say Silver Snow. And then winter or summer? Definitely summer. I really dislike winter. And Arcanea or Elise? I would say Elise. And Mario Kart or Mario Party? You know, this might surprise a lot of people, but I actually really dislike both games. I am terrible at Mario Kart. It really has very little appeal to me. And I actually really don't like party games, so I would say neither. And then Alm's route or Celica's route? I would say Celica. And jeans or sweatpants? You know, I live most of my life in either yoga pants or scrubs, So I guess sweatpants is the closest. So I would say sweatpants. And then Avatar FE Lord or non-Avatar FE Lord. This might surprise a lot of people, but I would say non-Avatar. I feel like we really don't need self-inserts in all of these games, and I kind of like the old way of doing things. So I would say non-Avatar. And lastly, Wii U or Switch. I would say Switch just because it's so convenient. But thank you for all of those great questions. It was really fun. And that is a Brady. You know what? I feel like we've gotten a lot of the same characters today. I kind of lose track when I'm answering all these questions, but I feel like I've seen a couple of Bradys and Felicias and other characters, but hopefully we see some bunnies soon. And that is a Legault. So let's go ahead and back out, and we can go ahead and answer another question. And this one comes from Anna the Money Lover. And they ask, what do you think of Rhea from Three Houses? You know what? I really like Rhea. I guess I'm a member of Team Church. I know that she did some very questionable things, and if you played Crimson Flower first, I understand why you don't like her. She did some bad stuff. But I also feel like she went through a lot of trauma, and she just really wants her mom. And I don't know, I just feel bad for her. I did play Verdant Wind first, and I feel like that's more of a sympathetic route compared to some of the other ones. And I also really like her design, and she has great hair. So overall, I like Rhea. Sorry, not sorry. And the next question on my list today comes from Insert Random Name Here. And they ask, how many orbs are you willing to spend on a legendary Lara Shell? I would say all of them. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I am willing to spend all of them, and I hope that she is a cab healer if we see her with Latona. That would be super nice. But yeah, that's what I would hope for, and I would spend all the orbs on her. But thank you for that great question. And that is a Clarine. So we'll back out, and we are close to 5%. We are at 5%. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of starting to regret this just a little bit. You know, we have a Hero Rises and Bunny Xander's coming back, so this may not have been the best idea, but we will just keep going. And we can answer the next question on my list, and this comes from Takumi Doto. And they ask, are you excited for the new Fae OCs, and which ones are you looking forward to seeing the most? Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? I really like Layla. She's a really strong character, and I really enjoy her. And oh, she's plus attack. That's actually really good. So I guess we'll finish the circle. And to answer Takumi's question, I was excited for Not until she opened her mouth. But the one that I actually really like is Dagger. Oh my gosh. I have felt so many emotions, from a little bit of disappointment to excitement, and I am just so happy that we got them. And they are minus attack, but I will take them. I love them. And to finish up answering your question, I actually really like Dagger. I didn't think that I would, but I love her personality, and she's a character that I would love to pull for in the future. But thank you for that very lucky question. So you know what? I think that we back out, and we can just go ahead and end things here. It took much longer than I wanted to, but we did get our duo, and I am so happy with them. And I think that I will just save for all the things that we have coming next. I want to wish you the best of luck on this banner and all the ones that we have coming up. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.